Hi everyone, welcome back to Banana Corn. Today's episode, expecting hesitations and hesitating expectations. Quite a tongue twister. So today we'll be talking about our thoughts on internships, school, career life from our point of view, pre-college, during college, and post-college. It's something we have a lot to talk about since we all graduated recently and started our careers at our first job. For those listeners who are currently in school and starting your career now, hopefully you can take some advice or points away from this episode. And for those who are far ahead of us in their career path, it can be walk down memory lane. So let's get into it.
All right, I'm one of your co-hosts, Angela.
I'm Ha-eun.
And I'm Cindy. Time to get comfy, get out your snacks, and let's dive in.
We're just gonna dive into it. So, guys, any thoughts on? Let's just start with internships, like your high school expectations of internships.
Okay, I guess I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I'll be completely honest. I'd never heard of internships until I went to college. So my expectations when I was in high school was I wanted to go to a very good university, and I assumed I would have. Okay, confession here. I believed I could be a mathematician or financial expert or whatever. So that was the kind of image I had of myself when I was in high school. And so the expectation, of course, was I was going to be able to develop myself in college and become that expert that I thought I would be.
For me, so I heard of internships, the word internships before, and it's very muddled, but I knew that if I continuously have internships, there's a higher chance that I'll have like a return offer or like a full-time job once I graduate college. So like I knew of this like internship concept in high school, probably because I was I always knew what I need to do. Like I always future plan everything. Even if I don't succeed in plan A, I always have a plan B, plan C written out. So through all that planning requires researching. So then I would because I was the first gen to go to college. So I wanted everything to be perfect. So I would ask a lot of the seniors that would about to graduate, or all the college students that came back to my high school to have a talk or something. And after a talk session, I would always go up to them and be like, oh, what are internships like? Or what are college life is like and stuff like that. But in terms of jobs and career, I took a couple career tests online, and all of them were be in the entertainment or an artist or something like that. And I was like, you know what embodies all of that career choices? And I thought business. Business is a good choice.
Wow.
And then you realize that business fits everything. But
yeah, business fits everything. So for those who are listening, if you're lost, just do general business to figure out your niche during college. Han?
Yeah, similar story to Angela, actually. I only heard of the word internships my 11th or 12th grade. I always thought that was for big kids. Even as a high school senior, unlike Angela, I don't plan stuff. I seriously didn't know I was planning to go to college. I barely knew any in college school. So I look at college visits and go to their panels and go to their tables and, see what pamphlets they have and stuff. But I never actually thought of college, but internships, that was, I remember thinking that internships immediately led to jobs. So if you had an internship, you would automatically, be employed. Turns out today that's not true. But
Turns out that's
Turns
not
out
true.
that's a story we want to share.
Yeah,
That was also something. Yeah, about like the internship means equals to job employment. That's something I also thought in college. So
yeah.
completely
I think we had like
agree.
this like really big like image, like positive image about internships. Like, like something that if you get it, it means you have value at that high
You're
school.
there.
Yeah, you're as a high
Yeah.
schooler. Yeah.
You reach that success level. Yeah. So like all of
Exactly.
us were very optimistic in high school. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
to be
believe.
honest, at high school, I think like you don't know what you want to do, and having like an internship means like someone wants you in, their firm. So it's like, wow, they actually like people want me, It's like you have a
That
value.
kind of
Yeah.
feeling. Plus our
Wow.
naivety, right? That's the word, naivety.
Whatever works. I think the listeners
Naivety,
know.
naivety. Okay, whatever that word plus not knowing anything equals optimism.
Yeah, I think it's just
So
maybe it's just what high school brought us.
like in my school, like nobody went to, the level of like NYU, like very few did. So counselors didn't know how to help us in a way. So I had to do, the research by myself. And for those that out there who was listening or like planning to go to college, collegeconfidential.com, best forum site for all college stuff. Like actually people talk about their stats, people talk about their financial aid, how much their financial aid is given. All anonymous, but it's kind of like
Whoa.
Reddit before college. Yeah.
Now I didn't know about that.
Okay.
I literally went through my counselor who says like pick your 3 best, 5 possible, and 3 safety based. Like
Yes.
that was that was what I was taught with. And like
Well, same here. But
yeah, but like that was all. And then like everything, application, everything you have to do it on your own. So
Oh wow.
I
Yeah.
guess that's like that was also like the first step in adult life, is realizing a lot of these things you actually take it within your own hands and you have to do it. It's not like a homework. This is something optional, but if you do it, then it's an opportunity for you.
Yeah, at that point, I remember applying to college. We used Common App to apply to
Same.
different colleges, right? Yeah.
same.
We all did. So I thought that was complicated. Like checking in today, we're like applying to jobs and there's like portals everywhere for each companies, they want certain stuff. They want like certain documents in certain ways. But yeah, definitely.
The kind of lead up I was trying to get at as well. Like college was just that first step. And then now all of us are, post grad, there's no longer that one website that works for everything. Now it's like you literally gotta go out and reach out and actually go visit those websites and do everything, the steps.
All 3 of us are first gens, right? To go to college, or no? I don't think Khan was. Your dad did.
Oh wait, like first gen as in like
First family member to go to college ever.
Oh no, my parents both went to college in Korea though, but they didn't know how to international or American or any other. Yeah.
Same. Yeah, I say first because before, like, because my parents are both from China, and they grew up in China, so that at the time it was like vocational school. So my mom was into hotel management, and then my dad was like engineering. So I wouldn't really count those as like university, college we know today. They are very like professional career, like everything they learn is related to that industry.
Yeah, my parents didn't even graduate high school, so like they only graduated middle school. So I'm the first to graduate high school and then now graduate college.
Go Angela.
Yeah, and that's an amazing achievement, but at the same time there's so much like you realize you have to figure out these things yourself,
right?
And I think it's a good thing like you experienced that so early. Talking about that whole process of going to college, what about being in college? Like how was it different from what we expected in high school, and what did you learn? What did you assume to be the case in how you apply for internships and jobs?
I can start with like in terms of internships, I knew like freshman year, it's okay. You don't need the internship yet. But sophomore year, if you can get one, that'll be great. But the major one is your junior summer. That's what I always, thought and always, hear people talking about. Because if you get an internship that you like your junior summer at a big company or maybe at a startup, and you tried your best and you do your best and the company sees that, then maybe they'll give you a return offer, which then you don't have to worry about your senior year, because once you graduate, you're going to work at that company already. So my goal was to always find my particular niche that I like to do and then try to aim for that return offer. That was my ideal internship goal. In terms of school life, I thought I'll have a dating life. I'll get a boyfriend. There'll be a lot of fishes in the college sea. But no, that was not the case. It was studying every day. The first 2 years, it was hardcore because I came from a very small town public school system. I thought after all the tests, all the AP tests, like the hardships will be done over with. Like, college is supposed to be easy.
Naive. There we go.
Yeah. And very chill. I'll have so much free time and like what you see in the movies or something. Like they would be like, oh, college, you get to do whatever you want. You get to party, you get to have free time. But no, it was not like that. At least, in NYU Shanghai, my first year, especially first semester, I really struggled. Like I was like, dang, is this the level that I'm gonna be at? This is hard.
You ain't the only one for that experience. Well, I mean, the internship wise, yes, definitely. I think even Han would agree. We were all like given those perceptions that sophomore having a internship, that's awesome. You're already like, wow, a little step ahead. But junior year summer internship, that's a key factor that determines the career for the rest of your life. That's what it makes it sound like. But of course, we're going to say, no, that's not always the case. And like the things we perceive in college, sometimes after college, you realize it's not as, would you say like that stress that like we feel that's supposed to be normal, that's supposed to be the case. But then after college, we realize it's different.
Yeah, I definitely agree because I remember sophomore year, people were getting internships and I just felt too young to get internships because internships felt like you had to present yourself in like a certain image, the way you fit into a company. But the thing is, I didn't know what company I wanted to work for. I didn't know what I wanted to do. But people were, so fixed on, it seemed like people were so fixed on what they wanted to do. So it felt like, oh, I should already have known before going to college what I want to do and what I want to be. But I think that is something that also we can talk about because like it seems like people have like a certain type of internships that they do, but after, graduating and seeing time pass in college, I kind of regret not experiencing different types of internships and experiences, like what I wanted, if I'm curious about one thing, I would have done it and researched more about it and see what I could, have done.
So
do you guys feel like there was this, like, it sort of felt like sometimes in that year, I felt like I was given this like invisible manuscript to success, and you have to follow each of these steps. And if you like deter from those steps, you won't be able to reach that finish line and get that job in the end.
It's more like whatever people are doing, I should be doing. But the thing is, I'm not even sure if I want to be doing that. So I'm just doing whatever people are doing until I find what I want to be doing.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I say interesting because I was someone who didn't really follow the manuscript, but I felt very pressured by the manuscript. I would be lying if I say I wasn't. So I was someone who didn't go with the mainstream. I chose to do things I felt I was interested only because I always assume like, you only have one chance in life. I don't want to do something I regret the next day. So I just picked what I thought I was interested at the time. That was the kind of attitude I had. And I'm grateful I did that because I was able to explore a lot of different areas. So I had like social impact and I moved on to sustainability. So I covered a lot of areas. But at the same time, there's always that invisible manuscript there where people somehow also judge you based on it. Like they don't really see what your like achievements in other areas unless you follow that manuscript. And it's only recently, because of COVID and all that, that sustainability and social impact became such big topics, and then everybody treats me as an expert, which I'm not. Far from it. That's
Yeah.
like, it's so strange. Like at the time, I remember I was so pressured by what other people in my major was doing, like the kind of jobs they were looking for. And then I chose something different, and then people looked at me weirdly. So yeah, I remember that kind of process. It's very hard to like face that challenge and trying to prove to yourself that you're right, which is weird because you are yourself.
Prove to yourself that you have your own timeline that you follow.
Yeah.
How many internships did you guys do in college?
I think I did 4.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, look at that.
2 in my junior year, and then 2 my senior, maybe 5, and then 1 sophomore year. I was crazy because I really thought like I wanted to do something in marketing. So all my internships were all like marketing focused. But one was in like a designer like bag, one was in nonprofit organization, and then one was a perfume place. One was at a biomedical pharmaceutical company. One is at a skincare. But I didn't really learn much. I just got the money. Really, I didn't really learn much.
Maybe it's somewhere there in the memory. But I mean, I'm glad that you made the point, like all of it was like related to marketing. So you were, in a way, it's diverse, but also you directed it to a certain area as well. So that's like a certain way of planning your internships.
But I wish I did something different. Like I wish I did like, instead of marketing, more like communications or like I don't know, something else. Other positions, not like finance or anything, but like other positions, because marketing is a very broad term, but there's like under the marketing umbrella there's like so many other like event coordinator, PR, or something like that.
Yeah, we always hear like finance, marketing, I don't know, operations or whatever, but it's like it covers a huge base. And yeah, we didn't expect that when we're in college. We always thought like, oh, I'll be a finance, but then when you go out, like, oh my god, finance has so many areas, I have no idea what to be. That's also another like huge challenge to face. I was mentioning why like you were very focused, whereas I wasn't. I just did a whole diverse set of like internships, but then my regret was I didn't focus enough. So that's pretty interesting that we have like different opinions of our own like guilt. Like,
how many internships did you do, Cindy?
I did like, I'd say 2, and then another one's like leadership, which became trainer. So if you want to count that as internship, sure, because that one was like for 2 years. That was quite long.
Wow.
Yeah, it counts. Any leadership position in college, I think it looks good on your resume.
So mine's unusually very long. My internships like was 9 months and all of that. So that's very different from usual when you say, oh, just summer internship, which is like 3 months. So I may have little, but mine was like long internships.
It was not little. I was just excessive. I think mine was just excessive. 2 is probably the norm. 2 or 3 is the norm. What about you, Han?
I had 2. One in this education platform, another in advertisement firm. As I said before, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I kind of regret not going out and exploring, because I feel like I have to say I am a lazy person. So I don't do much research on what I want to do. I don't plan. So it was kind of, I think the second one that I had, it was kind of pushed by peer pressure because everyone was doing stuff. And I was like, I should write something, I try to put an effort on writing something in my resume. Just grasp anything that you can get. I think in any experience or internships or positions, you can actually learn something from it, even though you probably hate whatever you're doing.
Before we get into the topic of like how to get in those internships in the first place and the definition of networking, you guys didn't talk about like the school life expectations that you had. You know how I said
I
many
know.
bitches? What
I
about
was
you
thinking
guys?
how we should go about this. Expectations during school life. I think I had a little bit similar with Andrew's. Like I didn't expect I'll be that focused on schoolwork. I thought I'll be having a lot of like other like social activities and maybe work, maybe part-time jobs. I think besides working at the library, that was the only part-time job I got. But yeah, that was during freshman. So that kind of fulfilled that image of college. But then I think sophomore and junior and senior, that's when all of a sudden there's like different expectations for different years. It's like
Mhm.
sophomore, you're supposed to be an expert. You're supposed to, that's when your grades are supposed to start growing up. You're
Mhm.
supposed to know how it's like to be in college. You're supposed to know your like area of focus. And then juniors, like you develop those experience and skills. So differentiated from what I expected 4 years in college to be like, or fun and games, but also like being expert. But then realizing like everybody is so focused on getting good grades, on being like the best student. Like I didn't expect people to be that serious, to be honest.
Yeah,
What about you, Han?
I had a similar like expectation of college as you guys, I think. I remember in high school before leaving to China, I thought I'd be, I don't know, somehow I thought I'd have a glow up, of some
Oh,
sort.
that too.
That too. Yep, me too.
I don't know how it would happen, but I thought it would happen naturally. But ended
Yeah,
up I'd be
same.
going to school in sweatpants.
Oh yeah, was gonna go there as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So turns out not everybody cares about image, and that
Yeah.
we love wearing pajamas, especially tight pants.
I remember one student wore pajamas and his like silk robe to the school.
Yeah, there was this
Do you remember that?
person. Who'd wear robes to school.
Yeah.
I was like, didn't
So
see
you
that
didn't
weird
expect
though.
that in college. Not everybody's clean. Not everybody's wide awake, especially 8 a.m. buses. Oh my God.
Oh,
8
Yeah,
a.m. Like, no,
crazy.
like if you are talkative on an 8 a.m. bus, get out.
yeah.
You cannot get out, but just like, please just be quiet. Like, everybody is like dead and like, I don't know, morning breath. That's
Yeah.
college life.
So, how do you guys got your first internships? Because I know it's like it's hard to get an internship with no experience whatsoever.
How
It's
did I
true.
get my first internship?
Well, as Han thinks about how she got her first internship, I can share about mine. But that
Okay.
sounds like I actually participated in a competition, and that's how I got my internship opportunity. So there was a competition that was held at our school. And basically the organizer, because I did really well, and I actually did get the first prize award.
Yay!
CINTY. Okay.
Thank you. All right, allow me to be humble. So yeah. So the story was I got the first prize, and that night there was a lot of like different companies who was there, who was like affiliated with the host company and organization. And so through one of them, they were interested in what I was doing, and so they decided to give me an internship opportunity to help them with. It was a similar project to what I did for the competition. So I think that really, helps you to stick out. Let those who don't know you what you're good at is through like these competition. It's always a great opportunity, especially as college kids, where a lot of the companies, they don't really know you, they don't know who to pick, and so like competitions like this is like very good opportunity to display yourself, if you can say. So that was how I got my first internship. Han?
So I finally remembered. I got my internship because I contacted the hiring person. So I didn't participate in anything. I just looked at the career portal and just saw, they have like different departments about what type of internship it is. It might be related to marketing, advertising, whatever. So I just picked whatever I thought I was interested in. I went in, like clicked on kind of most of the roles that were open. And after applying, I would straight away email the recruiter that was listed under, like the point of contact sometimes. Like
Oh, so
that
you
kind of sometimes like, it pops up, but sometimes it doesn't. But I would always email after I submitted my application just to be like, hey, I submitted it. That helped,
That's smart.
yeah, to kind of
yeah.
stand out.
I was saying like you
Like I said before, I was kind of peer pressured at that point. So either if I didn't want it or I want it, I just send those emails, kind of convey the message that I am interested and what I can bring to, like, bullet points of what I think my talents are. And then that would kind of show, like, you just want a picture of yourself in their head. So kind of like paint a picture of what you would want the recruiter to kind of see you as. So like you're good at visual arts, you're interested in advertising in the future, something interesting about the company, just some little like bullet points. The email wasn't that long, it was very short, so they can just kind of read it and just consume the information.
I realized that I wish I known that, because for me,
saying
what I realized was like I was just sending, like, for my first internship, I was just sending my resumes on LinkedIn, like at the easy apply on LinkedIn. There's like an easy apply button, and I
Yeah.
was just like sending a bunch of resumes with no experience for my first internship, and I realized I got nothing, like no email calling me back, just and then a bunch
Whoa.
of just sorry, sorry, sorry. I felt really rejected. Oh, how I got my first internship was one of the organizations that gives me like my yearly scholarship, because I just like apply and they'll give it to me. They had like a summer internship for all the kids that received the scholarship. It's like just for them. And they have this like job post board for the summer and around in my state, Connecticut. And I just looked in the job posts and then found that nonprofit organization that really started it off. Because without it, I don't think I'll get any of my future internships.
It makes sense because after college, it's the same thing. Like, have 2 years work experience. Like, you're never gonna get that. Like, you gotta give me that first opportunity. So, yeah, it's true that I think having an internship during college, like that, does let recruiters know that you have experience, and some companies do look for that. So I think that, strangely enough, because you had that internship, you were able to
Sorry.
get the work.
Cindy, your voice is so little. Is it probably like
Did I turn it down? Oh, I did.
Oh.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Hi.
Just another tip is kind of make use of your high school club activities, put them, kind of like make them a big deal so that the recruiters kind of see your, leadership skills or your communication skills.
Yeah.
And another point is, I think marking when you submitted your application and then after like a week, have a follow up about like the application process and ask if you need any more other documents. So sometimes I'd have like cover letters or like a portfolio of, things that I did before and just send it to them. So it's something more, that you give to them, being like, I'm really interested in this position and I haven't forgotten about my application. I think that helps.
That's a really good attitude. Like
Yeah.
I think I only found out like having like how important that kind of attitude is like in senior year. Like I didn't know in sophomore, junior, and I think having been on the other side, because I was in a club where I was recruiting people, it really makes a difference when one applicant does that extra step to like reach out to you and they remember the application. And I think Han like that was spot on. Like that, those are always the recommended steps you can take, is to actually reach out to the recruiter, let them know you're interested. And I mean, you might think, oh, but then what if they don't respond, whatever. But I think taking that step is like a courage itself, and if you're able to do that, then you should be more confident in yourself because you value yourself and you know that the company should need you. So it's a good attitude to have.
Yeah, be bothersome. Like
More of the
bothersome.
story. Be like Han.
Be like Han, who takes initiative and actually goes out to recruiters, because I have not done that just yet.
Don't click the easy apply on LinkedIn like I did.
Yeah, because that one I also like after college when I found trying to find job as well. Yeah, that was the same response. So
Yep.
LinkedIn, it's good to connect and all of that, but like also like have a preparation in mind that you're not going to be get responded that fast.
Which kind of leads to the word networking that we hear a lot in college.
I want to add that LinkedIn is I don't think it's I don't know, something about like that easy button kind of, takes me off. But recruiters, I think using LinkedIn to chat with any like employers or employees in that company is so beneficial. Like you don't know how actually surprisingly a lot of people respond to messages if you just introduce yourself as a student and just say you're really interested in that company. They actually really want to help you because you're a student and a potential candidate for like that company, so they really want to help any students who want to get to know the company or get to know whatever about themselves. People like to talk about themselves, so like just ask about what they're doing and you'd be surprised what response you would get.
That would be a form of or organic and natural networking technique.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree. Having received some messages on LinkedIn, I can't help but respond. So strangely enough, I think that's what recruiters feel as well. Great way to network, and another way to network was just like through these competition events. And I think especially like our university who has we have like a lot of panels, a lot of discussions and all that, like staying a little bit after that panel, just staying just to speak a little bit with the speaker sometimes makes a difference as well, because you let them know that you're willing to stay to talk about whatever they're doing and you're actually interested in what they're doing. So that's also a good sign.
Because I had this thought where like, oh, I don't really want to network because I don't want to meet someone with a purpose to get something out of someone, just for my own good.
I would say the word networking itself, I was very like, I was a bit allergic to it because I don't know, maybe it's my culture or whatever, but like I always took like friendship, relationship. Those were the words I used. I never used networking until college. So networking was like, I think a lot of like American college or whatever, they use a lot of that word. And then I realized that's what it meant. It meant like building a lot of like contact. It was very strange to always be told that you need to network with people regardless if you're interested in them or not. It's always good to network. That's what you always hear, like network. Yeah, look, it could be, oh, he's a doctor, so what? But you can network. You somehow like use him or I don't know. But like it's always that, oh, I'm just wanting to meet you because potentially we could, in the future, I don't know, I might use you, like you have that very negative assumption that you're just meeting them so that you could use them, like utilize them in the future.
Yeah.
Which is different from building a relationship where it's like both of you are interested in each other and you want to have a long friendship or whatever. So yeah, very allergic to it. What is your thinking, Han, when you heard networking?
Yeah. I was definitely allergic to it as well. I didn't know what to do. Like I remember sitting down with my mentor because we had a mentor program in college.
Me too. I was in it too. Right, you were there.
I applied but didn't get picked. So you guys were fortunate.
Although I have to say, I don't think I really, really used my resource that well. Sophomores, I was still a kid. Okay, I don't know. I got nervous to ask questions for my mentor. I was never told that you could just tons of stupid questions would be fine. I still felt nervous when I was in that mentor program. And then during that time, we literally had like a dinner where it gave you half an hour to network. And it was hard enough to talk to my mentor. And I have to network with other mentors, so like professionals in different fields. that was a lot of pressure. And it's very awkward as well sometimes, don't you think? Like,
Yeah. I think
since it,
networking in general is just awkward because, like you said before, it's you don't know how to approach a person. And I like after years, I kind of see now networking, I see how it can have benefits because it's really good to know. I wouldn't say network, like I would say get to know the person because they've already gotten their career started. So they know what you're struggling with and perhaps questions that you want to ask. I think it's more about getting to know that person instead of I'm gonna use you attitude, which was I think forced upon us in college
yeah.
years somehow. But
Yeah,
again, like looking back, I would have used that opportunity, my mentorship opportunity. I still contact him now, but like I would.
the same. Like I contact him. I mean, he's always like arranging like these lunches,
Yeah,
whatever, like
yeah.
every month whenever he's in city, which is great.
How
But like,
nice.
I have that little regret inside of me that like,
Right? It's like
I
I
was
have
too
questions.
scared at the time. I was too
Yeah.
scared and I didn't know how to use this resource because I was so pressured by those around us saying like you have to network in order to, I don't know, get higher, or I don't know what it is that people have that kind of
Get a
assumption
job.
that,
Uh-huh.
yeah, to get a job. But like it felt so awkward. It's just like I know you, but I got to know you because I want to get a job. Like,
Yeah. I know sometimes people think networking, you're even judged on what questions you ask that person. Like if you ask like a dumb question, you're like, I'm like guessing. I kind of, hesitated on my questions because I felt like they would judge me on how I asked the question and what I ask and how I would respond. But the thing is, I didn't know what was going on half of the time. So I was like, I didn't know what
we
questions to
were
ask.
all pretending,
Yeah,
pretending to be professional. And I
Pretending
think
that
it's
we
not,
got ourselves in
yeah, like
control
exactly.
and
pretending we're
figured out.
marketing experts, we're
Oh,
like finance experts, which we're not. But then at the same time, like we know we're not experts, so we don't dare ask the question,
exactly.
and then that's an opportunity gone. So I think networking, this whole thing, like at first, I think for all of us, it was such a new concept. It was so scary. But I think now that I'm after college and all that, I think we would agree that you slowly learn that the skills, the techniques of networking, maybe
Yeah.
like networking is not just about, using you for some reason, uh, approaching you for a purpose, but actually like networking is a way that we can get to know more people through conversation, and that you realize like some things that most of us can actually share, like humor and all of that. Like sometimes you learn that through networking. You realize, oh, there might be scary people at first, but there are still people.
I think, Cindy, that's a really great segue to the after college thoughts.
After college,
Let's
well, I
like,
keep referencing to it, but like what did each of you feel after college? Like did any of these expectations for whatever, like internships and good job, like
Mhm.
were there, in the end, did you feel it was important? Do you think like having those expectations were important, or was it good to hesitate every now and then?
I think that don't expect too much and don't too plan out your life like what I did, because
Mm,
if you thought your life and during college was gonna go a certain way, chances are, or it may, 50% of the time, if you're really focused, it will go, and you're lucky, and the opportunity goes on your plate, you will have your dreams fulfilled. Or the other half, life might surprise you, which it did for me. I interned at various marketing internships. And towards my junior and senior year, I was specifically focused on skincare and beauty. I was doing all this internship at these skincare companies, thinking that I would be at a skincare company after I graduate in a marketing role. But in the end, I am now a consultant at a gaming company. So life is full of
woohoo.
wonders, full of twists and
Yeah.
turns. Don't expect too much. Like, don't have high expectations on your future plans. And I would just enjoy it. I feel like I did less of the enjoying part and more of the focusing on what it needs to be done, what steps needs to be done in order to have that first full-time job.
Yeah, this is why I love having conversations with the two of you. It's because it's like we made so different choices, and we have such like different experience and different advice. Because like on my side, I was like, I never had any expectation. Okay, maybe a little expectation, like I would find a good job. I'll be like amazing leader. But I never did that minute planning, what Angela did. I always just, well, every choice I make, somehow it always makes sense. But in that moment, it was hard because you always have to convince yourself, you're right. Whatever you did, you were right. You're right. But I think after that, you yourself, you're able to tie up your experience together and then find something that works for you. In the end, it didn't really matter what internship I had. It was how I used my internship experience to build on who I am, to build on what I want to do. And then now I am now in like an investigation type of job, which is like, I always wanted to be a detective for like 13 years of my life. I gave it up in college, but then, hey, who knew? Like suddenly this company just approached me because I had relevant experience, which I never expected because it sounds so out of the industry, but somehow some things do apply. Like, being in a different industry, you can still use that skill in another industry. So yeah, life surprise. As Andrew says, sometimes things just don't go the way you plan, but sometimes it surprises you with even a better result. Han,
I
what was yours?
totally 100% agree with you, Cindy. I think I was expecting myself to hesitate. I remember I would look at what I had done and what I put on my resume. And I remember thinking how I can put these pieces together to kind of fit into a role that I want to do. Like if I had an internship in this company, but I had a job that needed like detail-oriented skills, I would, use that word to kind of shape myself and mold myself to fit into a certain position. And right now, I really didn't expect what I would be doing. I work in a social media company as an advertisement moderator. It's just very surprising how far I've come. Every choice I made me the person who I am. So I don't regret any of my choices. I think it had to happen for me to become and be the person I am today.
It's a good point that you point out, because I want to add that also it's okay not to like your first job, because for me right now, like I'm like so, I feel like I'm there to probably just gain that experience, because it's very crucial for you to gain that 1 or 2 year experience first before applying and try to find your niche.
Yes.
Because I think like Han, like except for Cindy, but you can hear, and when Han and I was talking, we weren't that much. We're like, yay, our jobs, but it is what it is,
Yeah, but like for me, I enjoy my job. But it's so difficult. It's not like I enjoy it and I'm having fun every day. I still have to like improve myself. I still see areas I need to like work on, and it's still difficult. So definitely that 2-year work experience is a reason why a lot of like master schools, whatever, they still require that, is because, to be honest, when you reach this age, you realize, oh, I actually still don't know what I'm very, very good at. I can do this, I can do that, but like, what am I good at? Like, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? Still don't know the answer.
Yeah. And it's okay to not know the answer. So I think that pretty much wraps up today's episode. And I hope you guys understand why we're titling it Expecting Hesitations and Hesitating Expectations. Because sometimes in life, there's a lot of twists and turns, but in the end, it'll figure itself out. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in today's episode. And if you haven't, please subscribe and like and leave a rating for Banana Corn, and recommend this to all your family and friends, and follow us on Instagram, Banana Corn PD. So this is us, Banana Corn signing off. Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Follow
Happy
us.
brand
Happy
new
New
2022 year.
2022. Yeah, 2022.